Hello, my name is Darrell Jenkins, and I am running for the 2024 PSF Board elections.
What areas of the Python community are you involved with?
About 11 months ago, I jumped headfirst into Python, and I absolutely love it. So after learning a little bit of the language, I attended some of the meetups, and I started volunteering at a local coder dojo, which really was a great experience. The kids there need guidance and support, but they were far ahead of me. And it was just a wonderful experience to be able to kind of nurture and motivate them. A lot of parents are involved there as well, and they are a great support to their kids and the community as well. Also, I've been participating in some of the conferences that are local, like Pi Cascades and Puppy, which is the Puget Sound programming Python group. And I had the privilege just a couple of months ago of giving one of the lightning talks. I called it Learning How to Learn Python. And I was really surprised and really touched by the response and how well it was received. And the great thing about that was being able to help new people to Python, of course myself included, feel more welcomed into the Python community. But these are just some of the ways that I've appreciated, and of course I look forward to PyCon next year and hopefully volunteering there as well.
What is your experience working with the PSF or other boards?
So my experience, I don't have direct experience with the PSF as of yet. But I do have a wealth of experience as a banker. And as a banker, I've sat on and currently sit on several committees that steer important decisions that are made bank-wide in such areas like products and services and acquisitions and putting together written guidelines, including proposals for RFPs. Aside from internal committees that are similar in structure to nonprofit boards, I also am definitely involved in the community and local economic development councils and other community boards. But most significantly, I would say that about a year ago, I saw a need in the community for people who couldn't afford to pay for networking to have a place where, as a business owner and a business leader, we could actually get together and exchange ideas. So after kicking around some ideas, myself and 6 other co-founders set up the It's All About You networking group. And the whole premise of this was to provide an hour each month where people could get together to exchange what works, what doesn't work, successes and challenges. And then we also would bring in a nonprofit guest speaker so that we could hear from our local community nonprofits about what they need outside of just writing a check. And then we also provided an educational piece, and that piece was meant to help people with practical things like fraud prevention or how to get a loan with the SBA. And I feel that all of this experience would easily translate into my being able to help the PSF and the Python community.
What changes do you want to implement on the PSF board? And is this your motivation for running?
Several changes come to mind. The organization is already a monumental one and has monumental tasks, but I think there are things that could always be improved. It's always good to get fresh ideas. One of those ideas would be centered around the code of conduct. So we have an excellent code of conduct, but I think that we could maybe create something like a driven by excellence code or set of principles, if you will. So this way that we could spend more time focusing on the kind of behaviors that we want to see from our community and already see, in fact. This would allow us to celebrate behavior and set us apart from some of the negative things that we see in some online platforms. And instead of spending time overly thinking about things that we have to censure or maybe condemn, it would help us promote the right kind of behaviors and celebrate when people show diversity and kindness and other principles that are established. I think it would be also great to kind of hear more from our developers in the community. I was thinking of something like a Beneath the Code inspiring stories segment, kind of like what Jay and John do in the PCN YouTube channel. Great work that they're doing over there, and maybe we could even partner with them to where we're finding out What's the story behind some of those projects? How does it connect and help our community members? I think there's a great opportunity and story there. Another thing that I think we could look at would be to send out continually new and fresh ideas when it comes to membership communication. There's so much good information on the website currently, and I know I had a hard time finding some of that information, but the core of it is great. Maybe we could establish a frequency that's increased. We could give people an opportunity to dial it down by saying, how often would you like to hear from us? But I always think that more information, or the opportunity for more information, is good, and having that communication more frequently would help boost up membership. And then on PyCon, as well as local events and even local meetups and regional events, I think that it would be helpful if we had an informational session about the PSF so that people could get a sense of the overall direction in which it is headed. And this would give us kind of a standard format or forum, I should say, where we could attract more diverse members from the community. We could attract different people from the community by showcasing the benefits of membership and how people can get involved in volunteering. It's always good to kind of review how we're sending out messaging. These are just a few of my ideas, and I would say they are not my sole motivations, because what seems to be important to me right now is definitely not the only consideration. I think that we have to be open, we have to be aware, flexible, and I am receptive and will always be receptive to hearing what's going on in the community and accepting new ideas and wants from the community.
What other impact do you hope to make as a board member?
I hope to make a great impact as a board member. That begins with just fitting in with the everyday workflow. The board is already fantastic and has, as I said before, a lot of heavy responsibility on their shoulders. So I want to make sure that I'm fitting in and helping alleviate the responsibility from others so that that workload is spread more evenly. Some of my strengths include being able to motivate people, being highly organized, and being an educator. And that, along with my background, I think will serve the foundation well. The perspective that I can give, I think, would be a fresh and a new perspective. And that's how I can also make an impact. Aside from the most obvious part of diversity, which is, race and background, I really believe that diversity in thought and approach is extremely important. So given the fact that I deal with nonprofits and businesses and all kinds of people on a daily basis, I believe that I can provide a context and an understanding that would help our international Python community. I try to maintain a big picture view of everything so that I can see the long-term benefits and opportunities. And finally, I think I can make an impact by helping to foster better communications, not just between the foundation and our core developers, but communication that goes out to members and potential members. We have to think, does this communication truly reflect our mission, our high standards, diversity, inclusiveness, professionalism, and kindness? Will this communication really attract sincere people who want a place in our existing Python community and help them grow and be able to serve others? Thank you so much for allowing me to voice my ideas today and express the ways in which I can contribute to the PSF board if elected.